welcome Helen Rebanks and Nick Offerman. Treat it is to have you both here. Thank you for being here so much. Nick, I think most people know you from your brilliant comedic work. You just won your first Emmy for The Last of Us.
Thank you.
Congrats. You played the president in Civil War. And now somehow on this side, you're also a master woodworker and a farmhand.
I'm an aspiring master woodworker. I know the masters that I take classes from would bristle to hear you describe me that way.
I doubt that. I think it's pretty safe to say that you are officially a Renaissance man.
I'll take competent.
Okay, we'll settle for that. So how did the two of you meet? How did this friendship get started?
Well, I guess social media kind of connected us up initially, didn't it? I mean, we're both huge fans of the writer Wendell Berry's work. And when we were over in Kentucky, we did an event. My husband was speaking with him in Louisville Public Library. And you've been connected with the work of Wendell for a long time, you know, sharing his work and stories about looking after the land and food and farming for a while, and then you came to stay when you were in the UK working on a project.
That's right.
Yeah.
So all of this started on social media.
That's right. If you want good farming content, you go to Twitter.
Some people go to Twitter for other things.
Okay.
Just check my mentions.
But yeah, I love. The great Kentucky writer Wendell Berry is the subject matter that drew us together, because we're all very interested in knowing about our farmers and knowing where our food comes from and who's growing it, and if they care about our health or not, or if they care about their profits. And so it was through Twitter I befriended them, and I had an acting job in Manchester, England with Alex Garland, a show called Devs. And that took me very close to them, and I started spending weekends there, had some of Helen's cooking, and here we are.
That's all it took. Your cooking's that good. I enjoyed your book so much. You really walk us through a day in your life, all of the daily work that you do, taking care of a family of 6, your herd of sheepdogs, 50 chickens, 500 sheep. I can barely keep my kids' goldfish alive. How much coffee and drugs do you have to take to get all of your work done? That's my main question.
Oh, Desi, it's a way of life on a farm. I mean, I guess this to me is the hard work, like being on, doing all the interviews, etc. It's totally different. I love it. I love it from morning till night. It's a completely sort of immersive thing to be on a farm. You respond to the weather, the livestock, the kids, whatever needs doing. And I wrote the book to celebrate the people that do that daily kind of mundane work, really. But to me, it's like really important.
It's such important work, and it really is such a beautiful tribute to all the invisible work that so many women do all over the world. Was that your intention when you came into the book, or were you just kind of wanting to tell your personal story?
A bit of both, really. It started off with personal stories and recipes, and I wanted to leave a collection for the kids of what Mum makes. And it soon developed into kind of a really deep kind of dive into like what society tells us women, you know, it's really hard, isn't it, to figure out a path through and navigate. How do we have kids and run a business and do all the things? And I kind of, through the stories, through the writing, it's just been absolutely brilliant to share it with readers that have resonated with it and feel seen. You know, there's not many books that I felt seen in. I read a lot and I love stories, and yeah.
It really accomplishes that. And I love how you talk about when you were growing up, you grew up on a farm, and you always thought, this is not what I'm going to do. And then you chose differently. You chose to follow in the footsteps of your mom and your grandmother. Why did you change your mind?
Oh, I think love changes a lot of things. I fell in love with a farmer.
Ah, that's how it happens.
Against all my better judgments, and here, yeah,
Here you are.
yeah, here I am. And it wasn't initially kind of I want to just do the things that my grandma and mum had done. It's like I'm making art as well through this writing and working and thinking about life through the creative projects that I'm doing. So it's not just I'm just doing one thing. And I think we're all lots of different things, aren't we?
Yes. I love when you say in the book, I choose this life. I choose this life. And that's how I feel as a New Yorker when I see someone masturbating on the 6 train. I say, I chose this life. This is on me. And I have to live with those choices. Nick, you're probably, when you're acting and you're on set, people take really good care of you. I assume you're at this point in your career. Mr. Offerman, can I hold your umbrella for you? What can I get you for breakfast?
I'm fully mollycoddled. It's in my contract.
So was it when you went to do real work on Helen's farm? Was that a rude awakening?
Well, no, that's actually the strange thing that attracted me to them and this subject matter. Is I grew up in a wonderful family in small town Illinois. My mom and dad both grew up on farms a few miles to each side of where I grew up, and they have these incredible work ethics and family values. And so even though my life led me to like show business and Chicago and then Los Angeles, I still gravitate towards, like, it's like my Disneyland. I crave, can I just please go to a farm and do the dishes or help you shovel some sheep muck? And so, I mean, it wasn't something that I like cognitively sought out. It happened more organically, where I said, I'm really attracted to this family, and I showed up, and they have 4 kids. I come from a family of 4 kids, and I just tried to subtly adopt myself into the family.
Did it work? And he's now officially
pretty much
adopted?
did, and we had no clue who Nick was when he first arrived. And he was working on a show called
How does that make you feel?
It actually makes me feel really good because I know that they're not going to tweet about me.
There you go.
But he had a big beard and he was bald. And he'd been filming on Devs, so that was, a sort of strange look that you were pulling there.
Right.
And then my mum she called in for something, and she said, who is this guy? Helen, who is this guy? He looks like an escaped convict. Are you safe tonight? Are you going to be safe?
Blink twice
This
if you need
American?
help.
Yeah? Yeah. And, she's not too keen on your first look, but she's since warmed up, hasn't she?
She
She
has,
sends her
yes.
best wishes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I've graduated to now I look like an escaped invalid.
Oh, yes. Congratulations. So you worked on Civil War playing the president. I imagine that was an incredibly intense film to shoot. The second you wrapped, did you run to the farm immediately?
Pretty close, yeah. I mean, it is very medicinal. The thing that I love about the life I grew up with and then the life that I experience on Helen's farm is that in this world of too much information and too much fast-paced attention deficit, when you get into the subject of this book and just raising food with your family, preparing that food with your family, and just going about the daily life on a farm, you suddenly don't need modern distractions like video games or bullshit like television programs.
Oh, yeah. Who needs those? Who needs basic cable late night? Ugh.
Exactly. And so for me, I just find that to be incredibly palliative. That it's like reading a really good book where suddenly the way they live is like a work of art, and you can curate it, and it never has to involve shopping for anything online or going to the mall, but instead it's just how good are your Yorkshire puddings. And suddenly I'm like, why aren't we all living like this?
Well, if you ever tried my Yorkshire pudding, you would know it would be better to just shop online of the two. There are so many incredible recipes in this book. What's your favorite recipe to cook?
I think I like making something that's going to last us for a long time. So I'll cook up a big pot of like a broth or like a ham hock broth. You've had that before, haven't you, at the farm? So.
May I please get us? Can we just stop and get me a sandwich real quick?
Yeah, get a sandwich
I'm gonna
for
pass out.
But yeah, something that's going to warm us up after a day working outside. I mean, it's old-fashioned to talk about this kind of thing, isn't it? You know, meals around the table and caring for each other and connecting and having conversations around a meal. But that's the stuff, that's the good stuff to me. That's like so important that we try and encourage our kids to learn how to cook, make things, and so they can survive out there in the world and,
That's right.
and understand where it's grown, how it's grown, and let's ask the questions, the important questions about how we're looking after the planet that this food comes from.
That's right. Has it changed the way that you look at food and how it's produced and what you choose to eat?
Absolutely. I mean, my fascination with agrarian material, starting with Wendell Berry and the books of Michael Pollan and Alice Waters and many more, are what led me to my life with the Rebanks and getting to like help them with lambing and actually, you know, see lambs being born, reaching in and doing some assisting. We have a beef herd that I am an investor in.
Yes, yes.
And so it's the most gorgeous grass-fed beef, and so not only are these things delicious, but we're trying to.
Okay, now I need a sandwich.
We're striving to work against the modern idea that our problems can be solved with technology instead of just working in concert with Mother Nature. And so this grass-fed beef is answering the question of how can we keep the soil the most healthy, it holds the most carbon, all of these things work together to answer a lot of the questions that are plaguing us in modern civilization, and you get the most beautiful ribeyes at the end of the assignment.
Oh, what life's all about. It's a beautiful book. Congratulations, and congratulations to you on everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you for being on. The Farmer's Wife